jelder1276. This is a video response for you, my friend, for your question this week or on the weekend. You asking about lagering. This is my own opinion. It's not an instructional thing for anybody out there. It's just my own experience and what I believe that's happened. I didn't go into detail into researching it because once I discovered it and put two and two together, I was happy with my results, or happy with the outcome. Lagering. I believe that you can't lager without CO2, or the building up of CO2. Like when you're bottle conditioning, lagering. Maybe it should be called bottle conditioning for ales and lagering for lagers, because essentially it's the same thing. You're letting your beer ferment or carbonate. You can do it when you rush carbonate or you force carb. You can lager the same, but you're leaving it sit under CO2 pressure for a length of time, which gives things like carbolic acid a chance to sort of change the flavour of the beer. Now I've noticed this, and you guys will notice it too. When you get to the last 4 or 5 of your bottles that have been sitting in the cupboard out of a certain batch, the last 4 or 5 are going to taste fundamentally better than the first 2 because of lagering or conditioning. When you guys keg, you know that the last couple of litres of your keg always taste the best. That's lagering. It's conditioning. That's the fact that the last couple of litres in your keg are more saturated with CO2 than the first 10, 15 litres. So there's a bigger build-up of carbolic acid in there, changing the flavour of the beer. So Justin, lagering, I would suggest, is just cold storing under CO2 pressure. And obviously you have to do that with lager yeasts. You can't just pull lager yeast out and then put it in 25-degree temperatures. You're going to kill it. It's going to be terrible, terrible stuff. So lagering, yeah, cold storage or chilled storage of your beer. Bottle conditioning for ales. Now my own personal experience on this, I used to have a lot of fridges and freezers, a lot more than what I've got now. I've got probably 7 or 8 now, and that includes the house ones. I used to have 9 running before just for my beer, plus the house ones. So yeah, and in one of those cold storages was a chest freezer with no collar on it. I just used it simply to store wort, fermented beer, not conditioned beer, not what do you call it? It's not in secondary. It's not carbonating it. It's just fermented into a secondary, I suppose. I used to store beers in secondaries and under cold temperatures so that they wouldn't get infections and that. And I would have 6 on the bottom, and then obviously I could get 2 on the motor and then crisscross 6 back across, so I could fit 6 on the bottom and add across the top. Was it 4? No, sorry, 4 across the bottom. Anyhow, a lot of 25-litre jerry can style cubes. And some of those beers would stay in there 12 months. I'd get around to brewing them again and say to myself, oh well, I should just pull both of them out, put them both into kegs, and have one carbonating up after the other one. In putting them in the kegs and tasting the beer, they tasted very, very similar. But once one keg had been emptied and the other had been sitting for time under pressure, they were completely different beers. So, what's going on right there? So yeah, got a couple of videos to edit. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have a look at So yeah, with the cold storage, nothing changed about the flavour. Very minimal, barely noticeable. I put the flavour change down to the fact that I brewed it a year ago, and this one I've probably got a better technique, I don't know. Or fresher ingredients, I don't know. But I definitely didn't put it down to lagering. The change was definitely noticeable when it had CO2 in it and a good saturation. Changed it a lot more. So yes, Justin, that's my answer to your question. This is my video response. Remember, beer makes you smarter.